Hello, Libra North Node. Welcome to your 3-month forecast for December, January, and February. So December 2022 to February 2023. I'm Samara, your Feminist Alchemist. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. These are general readings, so not all the messages will resonate with you. Just take what feels good to you, and well, I shouldn't say what feels good to you, because sometimes you need to hear something that doesn't feel good. But take what strikes a chord and leave the rest for whoever else in your North Node collective needs to hear that message at this time. If you are feeling this video, give it a like, a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so that I can better connect to your energy when I do these readings, and click the bell to be notified when I upload. These are North Node readings. I do not read for any other placement, so not sun, moon, or rising, only the North Node. If you're not sure what your North Node sign is, you can go to my website where there is a chart. I've linked that website in the description box below. If you are wondering what the North Node is, I also have linked in the description box a video, or I may post it somewhere up in that corner. Just how the North Node was explained to me when I first started these readings. Although I would say in the time that I've been doing these readings, I've been becoming more and more aware of the depth and breadth of what the North Node and South Node really mean to us and in our soul's evolution. I have opened up personal readings, a limited amount of personal readings for your North Node New Year forecast. In those readings, I actually don't have to focus on the North Node. We can just talk about you in general. So yes, I do have a limited amount of those. Those are also linked in the description box, and they are at a special price of 111 Canadian dollars, 111, from December 1st until January 31st. You can book on my website. So I'll go do a quick explanation of what spread we're using today. It is the North Node spread that my guides gave to me specifically for this purpose, and it has several layers. I will timestamp each section so that you can come back and look back at this video anytime in the next 3 months and go specifically to the section that you need a refresher on. And you could also, watch this in stages, because it is a 1-hour reading, and I realize that you may not have the time or attention span to get through the whole thing in one sitting. So not a problem at all. What we do first is what we term the universal energies. So those are the big overarching energies that are most at play and available to you for your expansion at this time. Then I do the 5D, which is your future/parallel version of yourself, the higher version of yourself that is beckoning to you to come and move towards realizing that embodiment, that higher vibrational embodiment. That's what we do in the second round. And then the third round, I do the 3D. That is what's happening in your practical physical reality that is being offered as opportunities for growth. Then we ask how to navigate the 3D in order to come closer to the 5D. So we ask that. And then I do, this time, I take the 4 corners of the spread, and each time I do North Node readings, it's something different. Sometimes it's galactic family, sometimes it's quantum, sometimes it's karma. This time it's the portal of your heart, and what needs to be transmuted, what wants to come through the portal of your heart in the next 3 months. And then I will pull 2 oracle cards for you to close the reading. And that should take about an hour in total. So let's begin. Libra, North Node, what are your universal energies? Sexuality. There's a lot of sun coming through my window at the moment, so apologies for the glare, but I do like natural sunlight, and in the winter we have to get it while we can. So, right. Union. Libra, North Node. Ooh. Okay. And violet flame. Okay. So your environment is conspiring, organizing itself for you to transmute some sexual energy. Now, sexual energy does not have to does not have to be the physical manifestation of sex. It could also be just how you embrace your root and sacral chakra, your sexual energy, your creative and generative energies, regenerative properties for your body as well. With right, I feel that the universe may want you to use the written word for your highest good, is drawing you towards the written word. And they're saying that this does not have to mean that you're going to be a writer. It just could be that some of the main movements with regards to change in your life is going to come through written communication, because I'm seeing like a computer screen, emails. That also with the union card, I feel coming together, like who is on the other end of your emails and on the other end of written communication is going to be important as well. There may be possibilities for you to resolve conflicts, old conflicts, unresolved issues through writing. That could also mean journaling as well. Because violet flame is all about burning up all that doesn't serve you. And clearing your energy field. Okay, so take this as it resonates, and this may not apply to everyone. I feel that some of your sexual experiences, sexual relationships, and anything that has to do with body shame is coming up. But the environment is being created for that healing to take place, so that you can be reunified with yourself, with a greater sense of yourself. This is also for anyone who has experienced some type of abuse or trauma in that area of their life. reunification with yourself, especially if you've had like a disassociation with your body due to trauma. Yes. I'm just asking if there's any other interpretations. They're like, no. And the reason they say no is because they say that a lot of us are disconnected from our bodies and don't realize it. They don't realize how much more room there is for like a greater understanding and appreciation and connection, and therefore life force through the body because of our mental disconnections from it, like the way that we limit our body's capabilities and abilities through the way we think about it. Yes, and we have a distorted, on a society collective level, we have a distortion of sexual energy and sexuality. So, that being said, even if my opening did not feel like it applies to you, they want you to ask yourself, like to sit with it and see if something comes up for you. Because they say it's impossible for any of you to not have that. Like, even if you're not a Libra North Node, we all have, yes. Sensitivity. I may have to go close. I don't want to close my blinds, my shutters, but I think I may have to for the sake of the camera. So 35 sensitivity. So I'm on your 5D now. Awareness, passion. Okay, just a moment. Okay, so I closed one. Where are we? Yes. Sensitivity, awareness, passion. Libra North Node 5D. Messages just to recenter myself. First chakra, which is the root chakra. And I'll just get the last card here. Consciousness and authority. Ooh. Okay. What I'm getting here is that the experiences that you have had actually give you a very unique perspective into the nature of sexuality and relationships and people's relationship to their own sexuality. And you are more able than you are aware of to address those themes with sensitivity. So the frequency of sensitivity helps us open to the world of subtlety and detail while anchoring in a structural foundation, thus supporting us to become more fully multi-dimensional. Your higher self, your 5D self, is also asking you to be more sensitive to your own feelings. Like I was about to say aware, and awareness is the next card. To be more aware of how your sexual relationships have affected your being, your way of thinking, your way of being, and how your relationship to your sexuality also does that. So all of those same effects on your state of being. The energy awareness supports our capacity to focus our attention on all aspects of a multidimensional world so that we create a reality that we truly choose. Your 5D self is also saying to you you have some unconscious patterns that you need to become aware of. Because those unconscious patterns are what keeps creating the situations that you would prefer not to experience anymore, or the things that you want to change, whatever that may be. What is hindering that is the fact that you have some unconscious behavioral patterns and unconscious ways of thinking that are limiting you. Now, they say that, this is not to point a finger at you and blame you for anything. It's like part and parcel of the development of the soul that, things happen, they linger in our field, we deal with them and grow from them. This is a time of a lot of embracing the shadow as well. So the themes of release, embracing, forgiveness are very big at the moment. Passion says the frequency. Okay, go here. The frequency of passion reminds us that beneath every intense emotion lies the hidden gem of insight, balance, and calm. It assists us in finding the balance within this intensity, moving us from chaos to the calm of its core, where we can let its long-lasting wisdom fill us up. So, look into, and then the root chakra, the energy of the root chakra supports our sense of safety in the physical world and reminds us to enjoy our physical bodies, which is like it came out in the beginning, that disconnection between you and your physical form. If you have sexual proclivities that either lean to liking it a little bit too much or liking it not enough, or you have very distinct recurring fantasies, or you find yourself only able to be pleasured in certain, within a very strict framework. These are things that they would like you to investigate. And also don't avoid your intense emotions, positive or negative, because there's something behind it that you need to explore. Consciousness. I feel like you could also, your higher self, your 5D self may also be calling you to have a more spirituality around your sexuality, more balance, Libra, more balance in your sexual relationships. If you're a bedroom bully, and I use that term in the most diplomatic way that I can. Like if you have to be the boss in the bedroom all the time, or if you need, whatever side of that relationship you are on, also consciousness. It's not about judgment of what that is. It's about, I'll just read it, right? The frequency of consciousness supports our ability to focus our attention on all the multidimensional aspects that show up so that we can include them in our reality. You don't want to be walking around acting unconsciously and people reacting to you and you not having the ability to, change that dynamic if you want, right? And that is something also, especially on the sexual vibration lives, is governed by two chakras, right? On a physical level. Like, that's not, we can talk about all the other parts, all the other chakras that participate in a sexual experience, but it's just that big. It's a creative energy, right? And when it's running around all willy-nilly, just reacting to life around it, it can get you into, it can serve you negatively. All experiences are meant to help you move forward, but it could be unpleasant, or you keep getting this more of the same when you want something different. Union, as I said, like the bringing together of heart and mind, spirit, bringing the spirituality into your body, regarding your body in a more loving, compassionate, and seeing it as a divine vessel. Authority. I really want to sit in the sun, but I think I'll have to close that window too. So the frequency of authority reminds us that true authority is powerful, directed, and realized, yet receptive, wise, and loving. So I will say I probably should have had a little trigger alert. Maybe I'll put it in the bottom because in the description box, because I keep coming back to, what role do you play in your sexual relationships, and why? The question they're also asking is, why does anyone have to be dominant in a sexual relationship, in a romantic relationship? No one has to be. There is not. It's not true that there is always, a initiator, like a giver and a receiver, right? Or the dominant and the passive. Like, there can be moments of it, but it can also be a very equal exchange of, serving each other's needs and enjoying each other's needs. Like, okay, I'm not even going to get down that conversation right now, because we can be here for hours and days, weeks of channeling into that message, into those messages. But, okay, one moment. Okay, my apologies again. I really was feeling for some sunlight, but it's just making it very difficult to, for you guys to see the cards. So whatever comes up, do be gentle with yourself. But your 5D self is just like consciousness and awareness around your sexual patterns and how you feel about your own sexuality and the effects of sexual relationships that you've had, is what they need you to tap into and for the next step of your evolution. I'm going to your 3D cards now. So we have the Hanged Man in reverse. This is what is happening in your physical reality. We have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. Nine of Pentacles in reverse. There's a lot of reverse going on these days. But also due to the nature of the reading. And like this time of year, I feel that a lot of blockages or things that need to be addressed are coming to the surface. And every time I do readings now, I get quite a few reverse cards, which is not negative, but it's just like different energy. I feel that they're coming in reverse as in it's like slow down and look at this right now type of energy. Okay, Libra North Node. All right. And then we have the Five of Swords in reverse and the Moon. Okay. There is definitely some... Okay, I'm just going to spit it out, and who it applies to, it applies to. You may have a very unique look. A non-traditional attractiveness that may have made you feel, or people made you out to be unattractive. That's for some of you. For some others of you, you have a very unique perspective on sexuality. And they're saying, well, it's not that it's very unique, it's just ahead of your time. And that may have then caused you to have friction in your sexual relationships because people don't get you. So in the next 3 months, you may be confronted with these situations where you sacrifice your authenticity or suppress your sexuality. Or that reveals to you where you are blocked and suppressed in terms of sexual expression and embracing your own sexuality. Those are in this particular card, I also see she's almost like a dancer, ballerina type of positioning. And in a very fitted leotard, there's something very simple and the grace. How graceful are you in your form? And this has nothing to do with actual dance. I mean, it may for some of you, but how at home do you feel in your physical form is a question that is coming up. The Page of Pentacles in reverse, I got a very blatant remark when it came out of how do you value sexuality, and is it something that you undervalue or you what's the word I am looking for? Cheapen is kind of the feeling I'm getting. Were you a highly sexually attractive person who was bullied into believing that the fact that people were attracted to you was your fault kind of thing? Or, people think you're getting preferential treatment because of your looks, and then you feel that you have to fight that. stereotype, and that makes you somehow downplay your looks. On the flip side, some of you may be just profiting off of that, like, and that's also, you have a right to be comfortable in your body, your sexuality, and your looks, and not feel guilty or ashamed of how that shines and vibrates, right, in your life. So for some of you, I feel for some of you, your physical appearance is going to come into play in the next 3 months, and like witnessing people get preferential treatment for their looks, or you may look on social media and feel inadequate in comparison. And these things are coming up for you to deal with, whatever it is. Even if you don't feel inadequate, but you feel the opposite, like, oh, I look so much better than that person. That is also a distortion. They look how they look, you look how you look. That's about it. There's not really much more to say about it. I also feel that you may be confronted with relationships where you are past relationships and present relationships, or possible relationships where you get something out of it in the short term, but it's not a good long-term prospect. So if you are looking to, be in a relationship where there's a certain amount of respect and regard, but you keep going for, fly-by-night type of energies, and that's not about the other person, it's about the dynamic between you and that person. And if you throw your energy into dynamics that are pleasurable in the moment, but aren't going anywhere, then that is something to also explore. And do you avoid those relationships? Like, do you prefer fly-by-night kind of meetings because it helps you ignore the deeper issues, the deeper feelings that you have to confront? Does it help you, bury your head in the sand and just stay in, the pleasure zone, and the drama zone, and the, fun story zone? So the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. I feel you're going to be you possibly could experience some burnout in trying to achieve certain goals, or burnout, or just stagnation, like really being stopped in your tracks because, I'm not going to say because as of yet, but that's an energy that you could experience in this next 3 months, that a lot of things that you put your effort into are not coming to fruition. Why? Consciousness and your root chakra. You may have also unconsciously also may have planted the blockages to the things growing that you claim that you want to grow. Yeah. That's why your 5D self is like, look at what there is to see here. And that's reinforced here by the moon and the 5 of Swords in reverse. I feel like you'll have a lot of feelings come up. If you, oh my goodness, yeah, if you were in like a relationship where you were, if you were ever shamed for your looks, your body, your sexuality, these may come to the surface now. And I also want to say, you know, if you don't go and look for them, the universe will send people to trigger that memory, or downright people who will, you know, do that very thing so that you remember that is in you and needs to be cleared, right? So if you want to cut out the middleman and don't want to be confronted with, you know, offside comments on the street, or, you know, it may happen anyway. But the point is, I'm getting the message that you can, like, that is something that's coming up. You can get ahead of it by already, with your writing, already going in and saying what needs to be healed, what crap did people teach me about myself, what did I end up, you know, internalizing that needs to come out. Because kind of if you're walking with your head in the clouds and still ignoring it, more of that will come towards you, so that they'll say, remember that time when you were, you know, 12 and that person said this about, you know, if I'm speaking to, you know, someone in a female body, like when you first developed, if people kept trying to touch you, for example, or, you know, you felt embarrassed because all the boys in your class and the girls hated you and the boys all just, you know, that type of teenage drama crap, right? Right. Those are things that, you know, when you're in that phase of your life and feeling very vulnerable, that can cause you to feel a longer, you know, that shame can stay with you as you get older. Like maybe now, and it can show itself in 2 very distinct ways. You could be someone now who like never wears a V-neck and never wears a push-up bra, and you could be completely the opposite. Oh, I liberated myself, and you're always in the tiniest top ever, right? So it's, and what happens then is like when you're out in the tiniest top and people react to it, then it replays that thing that happened to you when, like, in the first stage of your development, where you had a very vulnerable sense of self. So you keep replaying it, and then the opposite is you keep avoiding that discomfort by never showing yourself. So I think I've made my point. I think we've made our point. Yes, we can keep going, because I don't want to keep you guys for, you know, I'm trying to stick to the 1 hour. Right. So now we're going to check the bridging of the 3D and the 5D, how we can best do that. We have the 2 of Wands and the Queen of Swords came out together, so I'll put them together. Oh, dropping cards. Page of Pentacles in the upright, which is coming opposite from the Page of Pentacles in reverse on the other side of the spread there. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Wands together. interesting. Okay. And the Five of Cups and the Three of Pentacles. Okay. The Two of Wands and the Queen of Swords. I feel that there's two parts of you that do need to be reconciled at this time, and you have to understand that you can be, if you've experienced, being stereotyped, judged, and, they're two very distinct experiences or experiences of reality that you need to reconcile. And you do need to also understand that you can be, okay, they want me to say you could be freaky and lovable all at the same time, just because, now this doesn't apply to everyone, but take it as an example that hopefully you can extrapolate some meaning from. Having a very healthy sexual appetite, or being having, let's just call it a healthy sexual appetite or certain sexual preferences, does not make you unlovable for like a relationship, a loving, respectful, reciprocal relationship, right? And shit that, sorry, and I barely ever swear here, but stuff that happened in the past does not have to determine your future, right? But it does, sexual experience also makes you very wise. And especially for females, like, be very wary of anybody anyway who has a problem with you being a sexually experienced person, because why should you be more valuable for not having had sexual experience, right? Especially since nowadays women are getting like married and having children later in life, like the divine and your higher self wants you to know that sexual experience is also part of spiritual growth. So it's not outside of that at all. Like, there's nothing that's outside of it, outside of spiritual growth and spiritual experiences, and experiences that we can use for our growth. So this sword that is on the shoulders here, on her shoulders, and now this can apply to you whether you identify as male, female, or gender neutral. It's about fully embodying all of the experiences you've had as experiences you've had that do not define who you are. The Page of Pentacles here is saying, it's time for you to look at your experiences in a new light and find value in them, and also redefine yourself by releasing any negative connotations that you have been holding that are associated with those experiences. And I'm staying on sexuality because it was the first card that came out, and that's the theme that they want to talk about. So it is the one that's coming up for you, Libra North Node, for clearing, balancing in the next 3-month period. The Queen of Cups and the Knight of Wands is You do have to look at places where you kind of, the Knight of Wands is full of fire, full of passion, but doesn't necessarily think completely before acting. And the Queen of Cups is very aware of her emotional depth and her emotional makeup. These are things that you also need to be aware of. Don't go galloping into things that are that are going to be emotionally unsatisfying. You need to be aware of that, and also be cautious of codependency and imagining the best future for yourself to be a codependent one. Being like co-creating and being codependent are two different states as well. So it's important for you to understand your emotional makeup, understand your needs, and some of those needs are definitely related to safety, security, and they say like it's well beyond financial security. It's the security of being able to be yourself, and to feel safe in someone's presence, which means that they also don't bash you or criticize you for being just who you are. If you have had physical trauma, there could also be some healing around that, or some needs that you have around that in your relationship about, people, how people talk to you, what their physical stance is towards you, and how they treat you, how they handle you in romantic, intimate interactions. And last but not least, we have the Five of Cups, which I'm getting, again, like kind of a Queen of Cups of exploring with this maze in the head, exploring your emotional makeup, and the Three of Pentacles. They want you to recognize that some of what you're going through is an ancestral, like there's people in your family who have been through the same thing, people in your bloodline who have been through the same thing. So you can feel safe in being more objective about it and stepping back from identifying with it as like, this is me, this is the type of person I am. No, it's not necessarily. So you are advised that if you have this is very specific for someone, and I will say this may be a sensitive area. If you have experienced abuse from someone who is no longer in the earthly plane, they want you to write a letter and mail it or burn it, one of the two. There's a lot of emotional letting go to be done, and it's for you to guide and navigate. The Three of Pentacles is saying here, like, it's time for you to plant the seeds of better intimate relationships. If you are already in a relationship, it's time to plant the seeds for a better, like an improved relationship, deeper relationship. It's going into its next chapter, and if you're going into a next chapter and you decide to stay with the person that you're with, then you guys have to do some forgiveness work, maybe write each other letters of, that end with, I forgive you, and from this day forward everything is new, and yeah, that's it. Yeah, I forgive you, and from this day forward everything is new. So where are we in this? My head is spinning. So portal of the heart. And I'm going for that. I'm using the Mystical Shaman Oracle. What needs to pass through the portal of the heart in the next 3 months? We have the Blade. I'm just going to pull all 4 and then the Ancient Ones. Libra, North Node. Okay, and I don't know how they want this to come out. This Earth. Lightning. I want that. And the giveaway. Okay, well, I feel at the bottom of the deck you have a Jaguar. What I am feeling. Overarching summary, and then maybe I'll go down to each card more specifically. I feel that there are some cords that need to be cut. There is, for some of you, you are the beacon. You are the generational healer of some of the mind-body connection, the acceptance of body, and some let's say unpleasant sexual experiences, sexual unpleasantries. You are the blade. You are the one. Because the storm that needs to come through your heart is the one that is going to bring, is going to unify, is going to reintegrate you, your mind, heart, body, all into one. So your sexual experiences will include more of your multi-dimensional self and more of just of yourself. That it will be more fulfilling on all levels. You'll actually be able to have fun if you weren't having fun. And if you were hesitant to fall in love, like you're having lots of fun, but there was no love involved in the fun, that's going to open up love being part of the intimacy of the equation. New levels of intimacy in which sexuality is a healthier expression than it has been in the past. And the giveaway is, I'm feeling, 2 things. Through the portal of your heart, you have to give away all the shame, blame, hurt, and disappointment of offering yourself to someone and not getting what you wanted in return, or having someone overstep your boundaries. Second, once that's given away, you will feel more free to give love freely. And that will be in across the board in your life, not just in your sex life, or in your intimate relationships, but when you are more at peace with your sexual energy and it's coursing through you differently and more freely, then it also will unlock this, violet flame, the healing, unlock some healing energy, and unlock I just got stuck for a second. What? Sorry, I'm listening. Block the healing energy. Oh, and cleansing. Yes, thank you. Healing and cleansing energy. You also will start feeling more energetic. So there was just one thing in the blade kept calling to me to actually like look in the guidebook to get one point. If you are holding back any of your feelings about, like if you feel like you're not able to express or allowed to express certain things, and it's coming back to, you know, if something, once again, this is a sensitive topic. If you were, if you experienced abuse at the hand of a relative and your family knew about it and ignored it, you are allowed to speak and you are encouraged to speak your truth. That's for someone's, they're saying it's more than one, someone's very specific in this reading. So if that doesn't apply to you, then you can leave that one. And we're doing the final oracles now, more or less on time, my timing. I mean, I never rush the messages, but I do, you know, try to co-create a manageable video time with all the guys that come through. But it's been so long that they're very, you know, happy to see us. Yeah. 24, run with wolves. And I'm going to pull another one from a different deck. Oh, what's that one? It fell. Don't mind my squeaky chair. Share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution expression. Ooh. Yes. See, this is what I was saying. And it all circles back to how the reading began. Let me grab the guidebooks for these two decks, and I'm just going to read from the guidebook and let the reading chime out that way. Okay, run with wolves. From snowy peaks and midnight forests and across vast distances, wolves howl not just to the moon spirit, but to communicate their location and issue warnings. Wolves are fierce, loyal pack animals who are excellent at managing relationships that serve the greater good. Their packs function in a similar way to many human families. They rely on one another for food, safety, and shelter, knowing instinctively that there is strength in numbers. However, as in human families, it is not uncommon for one wolf to be aggressive toward another in the pack or to separate from the group for a while. Occasionally, a wolf feels the need to seek a new pack and a new place to call home in order to thrive. Run with wolves commonly comes to you when you are questioning your relationships and interactions with others. As you become more aware of your emotional needs, you might find that familiar relationships, even those with family, no longer align with your soul. Additionally, this card could mean you have lost pieces of yourself and what is important to you, prioritizing the desires of others over your own. It may be time to consider whether or not you've been running with the wrong pack. Could it be time to strike out on your own into the wilderness to find something better? It could also mean that you must find your voice and lovingly create better boundaries in your relationships. I'm not going to say anything about that. I think we've already, I think you get the point as well. But they did want me to say Hanged Man in reverse when I said about sexual proclivities. You could also be more conservative. I said freaky, but you could also be the opposite of freaky. And that's also fine. You don't have to be freaky for someone else's sake, right? Okay. That we're done with that part of the message. So, and your last oracle, share your voice. And I got to find it in the book here. Oh, there we go. You are being called to share your voice, perhaps by speaking up in a relationship or through writing, speaking, singing, or some other form of creative expression. Do I need to point out how synchronistic that is. No, I do not. Okay. We each hold a truth deep within us that longs to be expressed. Sculpted for lifetimes, the voice of your soul is like no other. It carries with it wisdom that can only be gained through soul history and growth. By remembering, tapping into, and expressing this unique tone, we not only heal ourselves, we also heal the planet at large. When you share your voice, you unlock something in the universe and call a missing piece of you home. Your individual voice is the most powerful sound current on the planet. If you have kept your soul's voice silenced or held back, chanting or singing could be truly life-changing for you. As we shed the layers of our personality and start letting our unique soul speak through us, we discover that we actually have a very clear message that longs to be shared. The more we speak it, the clearer it gets. There has never been a better time in history than right now to rise up, speak your truth, and share your soul's voice. If you feel fearful, know that you are not alone and that the world needs your unique tone in order to harmonize. As we each rise up and share our song, we make it easier for the next person to do the same. All right, Libra North Node, I hope there was something good in there for you, something useful. And remember, this is over 3 months, so you can come back and revisit this reading anytime that you need to refresh your memory. Maybe during the 3 months, something also feels a little bit more in step with what you're experiencing as opposed to right now. So I encourage you to check back again throughout the next while. And what else? I'll be doing ascension messages to wrap up the year, and I hope you tune in for that. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye-bye.